Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Finals Weekend here at LCS and the Spring Split of 2024. We are potentially one game away from the end of this series. Team Liquid is currently up 2-0 against C9, and they've been pretty convincing so far.
They've been looking really, really good.
I'm convinced, actually.
I'm extremely convinced, yeah.
I'm 100% convinced. Let's see if they can change up the draft here. Maybe like you got to go something crazy on red side. You got to get some big counter pick. I mean, the Renekton didn't do a whole lot.
I kind of like what Sven was saying about maybe just counterpicking top and playing ADTF or something like that to really mix up the picks of the game. But honestly, it's not about the picks for me. It's not about the draft. It's not about anything like that. They've just been straight out team fought, out macroed, out thought, out executed. It's just been Teal's just way better.
They out macroed C9 with 1 teleport versus 3 teleports in the previous game. Also worth pointing out, this Nico and Ahri have been permabanned by TL throughout this series. They will not let JoJo play them, despite the fact that he had a much better game 2 than game 1 playing the Hui versus the Orianna. Ooh. He still could not be the carry. The Kalista remains banned away from Berserker. That change was made in game number 2.
Where's the Patogas?
And Nautilus, Ashe, and Talia all banned away again by C9. TL's gonna run back that Varus first pick for the 3rd game in a row.
Well, Flowers, to your mid lane ban point on JoJo, Team Liquid very clearly feel like if they can get JoJo onto some scaling AP mages, then they have won the game. API's trash talk also, everything always relates to JoJo having to play a mage or something like that. In the pre-game lobby for this game, he was going super hard. He was like, you want a vacation that bad, JoJo? Maybe a Victor game?
I love the Photoshop. Thank you, Twitter. That one's perfect. You're not him.
The chat logs from the game on a side.
The mid-series sign adaptation. The sign mechanics are there. Team Liquid is putting APA back on the Ziggs here in game number 3.
I gotta say, Cloud9 fans are gonna go berserk if they lose their last game with Lucian Nami, because this was not a duo that they were a fan of at all. They did have one really good game against 100 Thieves in playoffs where Berserker performed really, really well, and that's what they're looking to replicate. But in the regular season, Lucian was not the recipe for success for Cloud9 whatsoever, and that was kind of the dark days where they were struggling, where it was like Lucian Nami, Lucian Milio, they were having VULCAN on enchanters, and they were just kind of chain losing.
Yeah. I wonder if Cloud9 here are thinking like a Karma mid to go with this Zhao jungle as well, and just try and completely blast early game. TL have gotten 2 of their critical picks though, the Varus and the Ziggs, which they used so effectively in game number 1 to outrange, and they played the early stages really well too, not getting behind, not giving Cloud9 any sort of early gold to work with. So I have supreme confidence in them to do it again.
One bright spot for Cloud9, obviously, you know, it is going to be against the Ziggs, but because of the nature of the picks, on 4 you counterpick mid, on 5 you counterpick top, right? Yeah. So if you are Cloud9, you got to believe in the ability of your solo laners to outplay, to get advantages with those counter picks. Now's the time to bust out the pocket pick. Now's the time to really try to cook something up and to try to get some momentum going in this series.
And I feel like if you're saving red side 5th pick for top lane, which you should, having already seen the enemy mid laner, it can't be frickin' Renekton. It's gotta be something that slots in, or more specific. Oh my god. Trucker Orn! He's not allowed yet. He's not until another patch. We can't play him yet. I wish. Otherwise, that's the one time that I would actually be down with it. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. The second half of the bans, though, it's going to be the Yeon and TF banned out by TL. It's going to be Jackson Cassante banned out by C9. And we'll see what they want to pick for this mid lane matchup against the Ziggs. Akali is still available. Lock in and give me my yes! All right, we're going to get Karma.
Yeah, I always look through it through the lens of jungle, and that is my like dream pairing, so that's why I was thinking about that one.
I will say, it is also a flex. You can actually put it top as well, right? You know, if there's a matchup that he feels he can really abuse, Renekton is kind of conspicuously left open, so I feel like maybe there's got to be something into that. If this is Rek'Sai, this could be Rek'Sai top, this could be Rek'Sai jungle. Of course, UmTi could be playing Rell jungle, that could also be support. So I actually like that as a potential lock, because it would allow for a lot of flexes, but it's going to be Vi instead, so now we know Vi jungle, Rell support, and we're waiting for this lock for impact. And then Cloud9 either can say, hey, we're going to try to do something crazy and put Karma top, or they can go for their 5th pick, counter pick. Because Renekton is just like so obviously open that you have to have something. If you don't have something, I'm so disappointed. And maybe it's the Rumble. But then that's like kind of a lot of AP from your soul laners.
All right, Fudgy. All right, Cloud9.
What's it gonna be?
What is going to be the pick that saves your season? Everything comes down to this. A super team. They got JoJo in the offseason. Everyone's so hyped for this. And it is the Olaf. Honestly, that is that's a 1v9 potential type of champion. Your Karma now not only is supporting your Zhao, is also supporting your Olaf. Also, you've got the 10-15 minute swap of the Lucian Nami into mid lane, trying to get those chunks out on people dashing in. Like, this Cloud9 roster definitely has the potential here, especially if you can get a kill on the top side of the map early on. You can definitely snowball.
I can see how they can run them over, but I can also very easily see how they can't actually close the gap and get onto these carries.
Yeah, we saw that in like game number 1 and a couple series in playoffs already.
Exactly. It's like, what's your go button? It's a W flash from Zhao. It's a Nami ult, right?
You Karma speed up the Olaf and the Xin. So a lot of mid lane Karmas fall into the trap of only using Mantra Q because that's the part got super buffed and you're like, turbo Q, big damage, kaboom. But if you're running a comp like this, then there's a
sound effects add 10% damage, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to shout that as you hit both the mantra and the Q. You know, obviously in this one, if you can mantra up the team-wide speed, and it also comes with the prerequisite that your Olaf had to play well early and had to have some money. If you don't have money as Olaf, then you're not a non-threat regardless. So the Xin and the Olaf do need to have some cash.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get ahead, if they can run them over, you know, it could definitely go well. But this is one of those things where I feel like it either looks amazing for Cloud9 or it just falls off the rails really, really quick because there's so much range over on the other side for TL. They have the ability to counter engage, I think, very, very effectively, you know, with the Renekton, with the Rell coming over the top. You want to be diving onto Yeon, you want to be diving onto APA. If that counter engage comes through, it's going to be tough.
Oh, I thought Impact is trying to bait right now. Can you bait him for far enough?
I feel like he's acting a little bit too obvious, but...
Oh, CoreJJ over the wall. Fudge is their target. Impact slicing and dicing forward. They drop the Ignite on him. Impact even flashing ahead. Fudge may just get away here. He's surviving with only 50 HP left. Fudge is going to get out of that one by the skin of his teeth.
That was actually so critical. Fudge leveled his W. That's the only reason he actually lives there. He skills W, he doesn't just autopilot that Q, so when he flashes for up the auto, he W's there, stays alive, but still, that hurts.
Okay, after that has already exploded at level 1, Raz is standing by, he's got an interview with TL coach Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn, question, what's your take on what just happened level 1?
Yeah, it's not bad for us, right? Because we know that they can invade our top side, so obviously, nice little trap there, but I think if we're going to use summoner spells, we should usually use one more summoner spell to guarantee the kill. Otherwise, don't use summoner spells and just take the chunk, but it's not bad.
Then going back into this, though, first question I wanted to ask you, you guys are 2 up in the series. You guys have been playing extremely bloody throughout the playoffs. So, like, is this a surprising, like, kind of series for you and how well you guys have been playing going into the playoffs? Just because I know you have been the harshest critic of, like, how slow you guys have been playing during regular season.
Oh, no, like, I mean, once we got in playoffs, I think we sped up our play quite well. So it's not surprising how well we're playing today. It's just regular season was kind of baffling to us because if you watch our scrims, we're like probably close to an LPL team, and then you watch our stage games and we're definitely like an ACL team. We're just so slow, right? So we're much happy with how we're playing at the moment.
Sweet, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and we're going to be sending this straight to the casters.
No worries, thank you.
And Spawn, definitely a big critic, you know, of himself and of his team. He's always going to be looking for that extra bit of improvement. You know, one of the tweets we saw that was up on the screen was, you know, when are we going to see the TL coach smile? Well, probably after they win the series. You know, the job's not done yet, and I know he's definitely very focused on that.
Yeah, Spawn definitely very much entwined in this squad's success, and a lot of it has been off of bot side. So if we can get Vi coming down here again, they've got a nice wave building. You can see they're slowly stacking it, only last hitting right now. And with Vi clearing down towards bottom side, CoreJJ and Yeon can try and set themselves up for some more success as well. It looks like him going to Krugs and not walking all the way over. They're just going to let it crash here and see if they can get some poke down.
We have to also kind of track the fallout of this level 1 because Impact started E, but Fudge started W. And Fudge, because he didn't have his Q level 1, he basically lost full prio in that lane, so the wave got stacked, got pushed in. Impact gets a freebie on the recall, just gets to walk back to lane here, and he's going to have that additional Ruby Crystal and refill his health.
And both top laners spending their mobility summoners, but also CoreJJ committed the Ignite. That's not going to have any meaningful consequences because it has just now come back off of cooldown there in the bottom lane. It meant less kill pressure for the level 1, level 2, but everything's pretty much back to stock standard now as Blaber waiting for the opportunity to maybe make a gank up here. Yeah, it's all about the slice. If Impact tries to slice, Blaber will show up, but he's spent a lot of time hanging out in this brush, and with the wave about to crash into the turret, it's just time to take the scuttle crab.
That's just not one of those mistakes that Impact makes, right? The wave is pushing heavily towards him. It'd be a dangerous trade anyway, so he's just going to let it crash.
And even though it looks like there's non-action on the bottom side of the map, because they know that UmTi is bottom side here for Cloud9, Berserker goes for the recall there, even though it's not a cannon wave. And so the Lucian does miss out on that extra wave that got pushed into the tower. And so merely by having junglers on opposite sides there, they still get that kind of presence and that kind of little advantage there. This now is going to be a better recall for Yeon. He goes back, he gets his boots plus an extra cloth armor here. And
JoJo might get stopped.
Just gets juggled around a little bit by those satchels.
But that's actually pretty awkward because Core's here now, and Core has Flash and Ignite back, and JoJo's low. And JoJo has to push out this wave because he hasn't actually been able to TP back. So if JoJo steps a little bit too far forward, this could be him dying.
CoreJJ should look for the crash down here. Oh, he tries to find the flash shattering strike, but JoJo's fast enough for the response. Flash for flash, support versus mid.
yeah, you can always see those plays coming because as soon as you start your Q animation on a Rell, JoJo's like, well, I'm definitely flashing because there's no way he's queuing the middle of lane for no reason. Sometimes you can do the mind games though, and
Walk up and queue.
you can just walk up and queue the middle of lane and then
some air.
yeah, you'll look like really silly if the enemy laner doesn't flinch and like doesn't flash for it. Sometimes you can just fish out free summer spells like that, but that takes like the extra level of mind games, and this one is the guaranteed trade, and you're still happy with a flash for flash trade as CoreJJ because guess what? You have Hex Flash, and in the bottom lane where you get to push up on Lucian Nami like this, you have control of those brush on the bottom side, so you constantly still get threat out of your Hex Flash, and UmTi always clearing down towards bottom side in this setup is going to be jungle support. They're going to trade their grubs for dragons because they want to play off it more.
And on the other side, Cloud9 couldn't really get any sort of advantage besides just a reset because they can't pressure Yeon. They don't have any sort of Nautilus or something like that can actually threaten the dive. Nami walked up, hit a bubble on Yeon, and they're like, all right, that's about that.
Not a whole lot more to it. Blaber securing all 3 of these grubs nice and early for the side of C9. As UmTi will clean up the Drake just a little bit after that point. Still a CS advantage up in the top side for the Renekton of Impact. A big part of that, again, going back to the level 1 and the skills not being what they would normally be, especially in terms of what Olaf would want to level. Jungle's pretty even, and it's still a CS advantage in the bot side for Yeon's Varus, although not really a huge one.
And there you go. That's what we're talking about. In the brush, keep channeling your Hex Flash. Those.
Oh, man, JoJo just picking those up like they're power-ups, man. You gotta not step on all of them. Maybe you do.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I don't see the power up.
No, there's no special
You don't know
buff.
unless you try.
Yeah, I guess sometimes it's they do look a lot like
Playing a new game, you got to see if you can fall off the cliff, right?
spoiled honey fruits.
Honestly, though, still going to be the highlight here is the synergy that Karma has with the top 2 champions for Cloud9, the Xin and the Olaf. So JoJo goes into river, he gets the honey fruit, so he gets to heal up from his little mine adventure in mid lane, and spends his time to do a gank on Impact.
It's time to hunt down the crocodile. Impact with the slice and dice and flash to get away from the binding. Blaber still chasing him underneath the turret here. Impact stays alive with a nice call to me. There's no way, bro! It's first blood in a 1v3 for Impact!
And he lives! No shot! Oh, Impact is actually the GOAT. He stuns him under tower. He sticks around, though. He's wasting more of their time. He's wasting more of their time. Look at mid lane. APA's pushing it in for free as well. Impact.
Oh, Impact is the trash talk, actually.
That's APA.
No, Impact.
No, Impact
With
first.
the question mark? Okay.
Yeah, the
question mark is trash talk.
Question mark is the kill shot. Come on. Oh, my God. Impact learning from the youngins here for how to get in the chat.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he actually just destroyed Cloud9's whole game right there.
That's a backbreaker.
Oh, my God.
That's rough. I mean, honestly, and it's also the pressure that CoreJJ put on earlier. If JoJo has flash here. You can flash to connect the tether outside of the turret range. But because he doesn't have flash from the earlier play, they have to fully commit in onto the tower. Blaber takes the turret shot. They mess this up. Blaber needed to take another turret shot. I think he still thought he had aggro or was kind of confused there because Blaber steps back. It goes on to Fudge. Then Blaber goes forward a little bit, but he's not actually attacking. That was completely bungled. If Blaber just fully committed to it, at worst, it's a trade, and I think you guaranteed get the kill. But Cloud9 really messed that up.
I mean, if we go over that replay again, we can just absolutely rip it to shreds from multiple angles. JoJo also could have taken the earlier inside route. You don't have to immediately tether as soon as you get into range. If he has the inside route on the Renekton already, then you get to get between the tower and his escape route, and then he wouldn't have even had to have flashed it. So, like, yeah, that play gets completely ripped to shreds. And on live, it got ripped to shreds by Impact himself.
Yeah, man. Impact now enjoying that +3 wave CS lead over the Olaf.
And just look at the items for Olaf. You know, it's like you said it yourself, Kobe. Olaf needs gold. You're a force multiplier here as the Karma. You're buffing this guy up. He's
Those
got
steel caps get multiplied, baby!
He's got some shoes. That's about it, man. Impact's gonna have
He's got a dinner knife as well.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to pierce the scales of the Omega Lizard here for Impact, as he is just completely unafraid of this guy. C9, they've got to make sure they're ready, man, but CoreJJ's already starting off the engage with the crash down into the Magnet Storm, but there's not a lot of mana left on Yeon. Calling from Berserker forces TL back.
Buys here, though, and that's what they're setting up for. They're actually setting up for the redive, because now Berserker has no cleanse, and they can look for this.
All right, they want to go in. CoreJJ leading the charge, tries to find the engage, and there's your Mega Inferno Bomb from downtown. It's going to be traded 1-for-1 as Core dies to Vulcan. APA now throwing up the minefield to keep JoJo from joining up in time.
Kobe! He gets locked under tower there with the ult. Nicely done there. UmTi's able to lock him in place, so you guarantee the APA Ziggs bomb under tower. They did get one kill back here for Cloud9, though, so we got to focus on their possibilities here in an elimination game for C9. You really have to start getting money now.
Yeah, I mean, they got one kill back, but they lose the farm under tower. Berserker dies. The kill goes to Nami, and Fudge TP down and lost place. So it's an absolute disaster place. Great dive there from TL, showing Cloud9 how to do it so far in this one, and so far in this entire series, as again, Core out on the map. You're going to play this Enchanter duo down in bot lane. You're going to bring out the Nami, but they can't create that advantage. It's been Core moving around the map, trying to put pressure on mid lane. He's been so annoying.
Yeah, and that's honestly, when I think of CoreJJ's best games, I think of him on engaged champions, constantly rotating around, always creating this extra pressure, this extra threat, and making everybody on the enemy team double check every time they think about posturing aggressively, moving forward, trying to push anything out. Is Core going to be there?
So another big thing, never mind, we've got a duel.
We've got to run away. CoreJJ is just going to run away.
All right, we agree to not.
It was a duel. It's no longer.
The other big thing, though, I wanted to mention is that after the swap back, there's going to be no teleport for Cloud9 top laner. This is Impact with not only giant gold lead, not only with item lead, but also teleport advantage. So this dragon is a huge trap for Cloud9. They should definitely not force it, but they might, especially if Impact backs off and is going to be able to come. All right, maybe Impact doesn't want to use his teleport for it, but if he does, I swear, like, this is such a trap for Cloud9.
C9 still trying to position around it, see if maybe there's something they can do.
Yeah,
UmTi and Core are just going to clear out the vision. Yeah, I think Cloud9's getting the memo. This is not really the angle, as all that vision's going to get swept out. The culling was already used by Berserker, this classic Lucian play of trying to get control over mid, chunk out one of the enemies, but Yeon sidestepped most of it. Now Impact will force Ragnarok out of Fudge. It's ulti for ulti in the top lane, and the Olaf's only got 400 HP left.
Olaf also used Ghost, though, so you're going to go really positive on that play. He's already taken 3 plates here solo off that TP bot from Fudge. And he's just going to get even further ahead. He's 30 CS up. It's just going to get worse for Fudge. He'll take the dragon on the bottom. And this TL just has leveled up so much throughout playoffs. And
it's incredible.
It's really crazy to just even look at the names and think about, you know, where they were, where expectations were for these two teams at the start of the split, and how much these guys have been able to really step up. You know, UmTi against Blaber, that is something that you wouldn't have been able to expect to be this close matchup. UmTi is outplaying him. Yeon is really stepping up and has heavily outperformed Berserker as well throughout this series. This is just TL really across the board looking so good.
And every time C9 tries to find something, it just isn't working out. You can see they land a little bit of CC on CoreJJ, but they just don't have the follow-up in time to try to get another pick there. This worked in game 1. Remember when the Nautilus was doing some warding, doing some rotating around, they got the punish there. But here in game number 3, it's not enough. And Core is going to be fine as UmTi regroups with his support, making sure that they don't get jumped here. They know C9 is looking around this quadrant of the jungle, but C9 now losing that opportunity to find anything of meaning.
Yeah, UmTi and CoreJJ are doing a really good job of hovering and shadowing right now. So each move Cloud9 are rotating down for. UmTi and CoreJJ are watching, they're matching, just making sure that there is no early gold injection possible for Cloud9, no play possible. Sometimes when you have those neutralizing moves from them, that's all that you need on the side of TL, because they're very happy to get even more money into the Ziggs, even more money here into Yeon, who was holding down mid lane, and now they get their reset that they're looking for. The more time that goes by, the happier that they are.
Berserker is going for this build, and it's similar to what he actually played last time, where it's basically just all procs, right? You're going to be going rapid fire, you're going to be going Shiv. He may even go in towards more. He went Voltaic as well, so he actually went 3 of those kind of proc items, and it's all about your upfront burst. But if you don't play that from a commanding position to where you can actually fully chunk these people out of the fight, then all of a sudden it just kind of stops mattering because you don't have that sustained damage that a lot of the other builds do.
It's Desert Eagle Lucian. You get one shot, the shot is really big, and then the recoil, you gotta wait a little to line the next one up. So hopefully Berserker can aim nose straight because C9 does not want to let this game slip into the state that the previous 2 had.
Look at the call here from Team Liquid. I like this. They're sending APA to stay down bottom so they can keep pressure on this bottom tower. He's Ziggs, so it is even more imperative for Cloud9 to catch the wave because he'll just blow up a tower and then all of a sudden you're dealing with a gold slingshot. So their little like pull on the Rift Herald here, they keep on testing it. They pulled it out before, making Cloud9 show, then they get off it, then they pull it back again. Just every time APA is able to move up, he annihilates the minion wave, puts more pressure on the tower, more pressure on the possibility of a giant gold lead out of tower gold, and allows them to eventually slowly win even more objectives.
And speaking of those objectives, Team Liquid, they even know that there was the control ward from their opponents in the Herald Pit, so UmTi drags it all the way down into the river. Yes, C9 is still going to be aware that it's being taken by UmTi, but they don't have the direct vision on exactly how it's going down. So that means it's an easy Herald secure for TL on top of the Tier 1 Turbident top lane.
Again, another Ziggs game, another really big benefit to your macro. You saw him there use his ultimate on the wave, clears out the wave, he backs way off, even with the blue trinket used to try and scout him out. APA had already left, so that allows impact. Guess what? Renekton's even further ahead, juicy free tower on top side, and APA, he defended his tower, used his ult, used his bombs, blew up the wave. Team Liquid are just going to continue to use the exact same methods here to get their mid-game lead.
And with UmTi having the Herald, they already got first tower. They're likely to grab the second because you pair it up with Ziggs, you just walk down, you get that charge, you satchel it, it's basically just about dead. And this is the struggles. You know, the range is already becoming such an issue. It's so difficult to actually close the gap on APA and put that meaningful threat onto him without fully committing everything you have to him. And if you do that, all of a sudden, the Renekton who's really strong, the Vi who's really strong, the Rell counter-engage, all becomes very, very problematic.
And the Seraphs is transformed, so the Ziggs has Flash, Satchel, and a possible shield popping up with his transformed Seraph. So even if he's full send in there, it's very difficult, and you're going to take a lot of damage when you try and get in there too.
Oh yeah, Team Liquid still in a very solid position here in game number 3. Sundered Sky completed for the Vi, pretty big deal there. Black Cleaver on the Renekton. Olaf at least has his first item done, but with Ravenous Hydra being the rush, this guy can melt very, very quickly on the front lines of a big fight if they send him in and don't properly have him buffed up with this Karma. Now in mid lane, it's another one of these stare downs as the TP's coming in from C9. They're going to have everybody here, but Blaber's already getting jumped on by UmTi. The culling to try to provide some covering fire, as now UmTi wants to go all the way in. He flashes away. Jojo cannot protect Blaber, and APA is going to grab the first kill. Team Liquid comes out on top 1-0.
Again, UmTi setting up for these Ziggs bombs, and he flashes out. He stays alive. The jungler is going to be able to take down Dragon. Team Liquid, unless Berserker like pulls something magical out here, Cloud9 are going to be facing another Dragon Soul point.
It's gone. I mean, the Dragon's just being taken by UmTi. Fudge is walking back. He healed up a little bit, but I don't really think they have a real way in.
They're desperate. They're desperate.
They're trying to stop it. Yeon's here on the front. Not a lot of mana left on the Varus. Keep that in mind. Big chunk onto Yeon there from the inner flame. But Fudge is already dead. Olaf without a Ragnarok is just a big melee minion. And Team Liquid's coming to farm him. Yeon with the flash to get out of the way of the inner flame. He picks up the honey fruits for some extra mana to keep firing out the rain of arrows. The Nami bubbles, yeah, they're going to keep APA locked up for a second, but nobody else is around. Impact getting shot at by Berserker, but remember the culling is already gone. APA throws out a satchel to disengage, and C9 just looks silly.
Yeah, I mean, they can't get anything done. They're completely outranged. They're beat to the punch as they just jump on Blaber. They burst him down. At the same time, on the other side of the fight, Fudge, who TP'd in, had to pop his ghost and ulti just to run away and barely survive. You can tell Cloud9 felt that was the series right there. They had to get something done at that dragon, so they tried to force their way in, even down a member. They lose the fight regardless. Now it is sole point here and another tower, and they still have Herald. So 2 towers to 0, over 3k gold lead, 3 dragons to 0. TL are just stomping Cloud9.
And a lot of times you can see in the gameplay when the shot calling just gets so desperate and, you know, they don't have a lot of options. They're just trying anything there, even trying to, you know, flash in for a mantra Q, maybe to get something crazy happening. It is going really, really rough for Cloud9, and you can start to see it in some of the choices that they're making. Team Liquid are closing the game in around them, and C9 feeling the pressure.
It's not just the game they're closing in, it's the series, it's the split. If C9 lose this game, not only do they lose their chance to challenge for the title as that super team, they lose any opportunity for international competition until the next chance would be Worlds.
Full sending it.
Later on this year, they're going after Impact. A TP is coming in, and Team Liquid doesn't want to let him get away with it. CoreJJ flashing in for the engage on Blaber as Impact's made his way into the fight with the dominance. UmTi charging into the backline as the Mega Inferno Bomb forces the flash out from Berserker, and C9 has to continue trying to disengage. Fudge is out in no man's land, and APA just pops the turret to add insult to injury.
Yeah, another play born of desperation, just trying to get in there. And JoJo at least is going to teleport out here for a cross-map play, get 1 tower back for themselves. But as soon as they walked at Impact, he did not flinch. He walked into the alcove and he's already telling his team, yo, turnaround play right now, immediately assassinate the Zhao. And they jumped on him. Really nice kind of pincer move there after he walked into the alcove. The rest of Team Liquid had his back. Easy collapse for them. They turn their sights onto Blaber and they take him down.
Impact has just been incredible through these last 2 games, man. The Rumble and now this Renekton. The outplay in top lane was massive. Now the Rift Herald's going to get summoned up. And if TL win this, this is the first time since 2021 spring that neither of the previous finalists will have actually made it back to finals.
That's a pretty crazy number, like 3 years ago now. It's the Herald. Okay, so he might not have the hands of the old man, but he does behind the steering wheel. He's still the GOAT,
Get
but...
those eyes checked.
Yeah. We might have to check Impact's driver's license here, as we do have the tier 2 turret being dropped in the bottom lane. UmTi trying to get away, locked up, burst down, C9 finally finds a pick. Now Impact may be under pressure, but a beautiful Mega Inferno Bomb coming in from APA to whittle down the health bars of C9. Blaber continues to charge, and Yeon is under pressure. The Magnet Storm is not in time. Team Liquid is disappearing. Cloud9 finally finds a huge fight. They need to get as much as they possibly can. Impact and APA getting away, but the Ziggs does not have a lot of mana left to fight with. Impact slicing and dicing his way back away as Blaber continues to chase. Wind becomes lightning, but he needs a little more range. The audacious charge. Team Liquid has lost all 5 men. An ace for C9.
5-0 for Cloud9 as they come to life here. Maybe they can get a tower or something like that. It was delayed enough that there won't be a Baron off the back of this, but this engage here from Cloud9, they catch UmTi to the side with the tether. They go all in on him, burst him down immediately, and then Yeon here gets a little bit too far forward as he's trying to actually follow up on some of this pressure that's coming through from Impact. Yeon steps up, but he has no flash, and Berserker says, yeah, I'm gonna go on you. Blaber jumps on him as well.
Yeah, nice defense there for Cloud9 on the turnaround. You thought maybe there was an opening for Team Liquid, but C9, this is a team that are full desperation mode. They know if you see one opening, you got a full send. Immediately full send. Yeah. And they got the slow from Fudge's Q onto UmTi under the tower. With that slow onto UmTi, it allows JoJo to get the tether, and they know they just have to fully go for it. They get some kills back. They have to ride the momentum.
Past couple of games, Team Liquid got Baron around now. C9 is only down 1,000 gold. It's about the best game state they've had, but TL wants to go yet again. Nami wave comes in over the top. A bubble connects on the 2. UmTi is going to die immediately, and Fudge is taking the kill. one. It's jungler for jungler as Fudge tries to get back. Berserker and Jojo both still alive here as well.
Yeah, Blaber's ulti was still on cooldown from the previous play until the split second before he died, so he wasn't tanking in that front line. Berserker just used his dash and he's got no flash.
Berserker locked up with a crash down into the Magnet Storm. The Lucian is picked off. A critical misplay from C9's AD carry. And Team Liquid now has him dead for 30 seconds. The Dragon is alive. This is Soul if they claim it.
No jungler up, but doesn't matter. They've got the damage. They've got the bomb field. Another huge play by one of the veterans. CoreJJ walks up as Berserker is trading in mid lane. You can see on the minimap, CoreJJ immediately moved to cut off his escape route. He immediately moved as soon as that trading happened, and he's able to catch Berserker for the objective victory.
Well played there from TL, man. And now they get the Soul, so the gold lead kind of lying to you a little bit. We can watch this one more time through mid lane. The initial play is a pretty even trade as UmTi steps forward, misses on the Q, and Blaber just immediately turns on him, but he was missing the crescent guard. The cooldown's lying to you on the side. He didn't have it until just before he died. Popped it right there, but went down in a hurry. They are able to push out Core, but this is where things start to go wrong. Berserker, I think, needed to stick with the rest of his team. He needs to back up with Vulcan and Jojo. Instead, he kites down to the side here, dashing away from those two enchanters that are there to keep him safe, and Core catches him.
Yeah, nice little route there from Core. Drops the control ward, immediately moves on in. And you got to, you know, they were trying to open up something for themselves because they could feel the time kind of getting away from them. Cloud9, though, now you're going to have to deal with a Dragon Soul on top of the poke. If you close the distance, now it gets harder to finish off your kill target, and they just have to keep on looking for something.
Yeon gonna get jumped on here. Core coming to reinforce him. Berserker eats some of the damage from Mega Inferno Bomb. UmTi's here with the front line. He dashes right back to Berserker, and they found the enemy carry. They found Jojo too. Team Liquid, that's exactly what they were looking for. Impact's 1v2, and with the remaining 2 players alive on C9, Team Liquid is going to get another Baron. 25 minutes into this third game.
This is playoffs, TL. It's a completely different beast, and they want that rematch with FlyQuest, and they want Fudge's head. They're gonna get it on top of the Baron.
Man, oh man, it looked like C9 had some hope there after that ace in the bottom lane, but TL immediately recovered. They managed to get the pick that gives them the Dragon Soul. They find the fight after that gets them the Baron, and now, 25 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, they're going to be up 5,000 gold armed with Baron against C9.
And this is one of the things that makes playoff TL so exciting, is that you can win a fight against them, but they're going to get right back out on the map. They're immediately going to look for another angle. They're immediately going to look for the next play. They're constantly looking for these openings, having so much faith in their ability to execute in these fights. They're able to zero out Jojo and Berserker right off the bat. The fight was over before it really got going for Cloud9 whatsoever. And now you're seeing,
that was a
now
grin.
they know.
That was a grin. I saw a flash of a smile.
Count it, that's a smile.
Yep, that's a smile.
Teeth.
He's ready. He knows that things are looking so good for this Team Liquid squad. Now it's going to be another little bit over 2 minutes of this Baron buff, and the Elder will spawn slightly over 3. So Team Liquid is in a great spot, even if they don't push all the way to the Nexus with this Baron, which it can be hard to do at only 26 minutes in. You're going to set the Rift up beautifully to then transition into an Elder Dragon play.
This gets so tough though, this late in the game. Level 16 Ziggs completed the death cap 3 items. Even just the ulti alone on a squishy member means you're basically out of the fight.
Yeah.
If you hit in the middle, it does 1,200.
And the problem, again, with these Cloud9 comps we've been mentioning, if they don't get ahead early, the basic stat that they're always down is range. And so your team is going to naturally group up. It makes it very hard to avoid that damage.
APA getting a little bit of poke on him there from those enchanted inner flames, as Impact is going to be the one-man split push troop over here in mid, trying to provide dual lane pressure, but that bottom lane tier 3 turret is already nearly dead. It should just be, it's either satchelable or almost satchelable right now by the Ziggs. All they got to do is just get close enough to toss the thing. As the next wave is spawning, it'll be cleared out immediately. Still 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the Baron for TL.
And the poke on APA meant nothing because he just went and grabbed some honey fruit there. Berserker doing his best to try to chip away at them, but there's the satchel.
Okay, Blaber jumps in. CoreJJ's here on the front line. Nami waves sailing out. Only finds the knockup on Core, but it ain't gonna matter. That's Blaber down to about 20% HP. That's VULCAN with no ult. C9 backing away as the inhibitor in bottom lane will die in 3 hits to APA. Meanwhile, mid lane, the pressure continues from Impact. The Baron still 45 seconds left as Team Liquid claims inhibitor number 1.
Ooh, these 545, now 640 AP Ziggs autos, demolishing objectives. Absolute insanity here. Team Liquid on the brink of a rematch with FlyQuest. And that was at the beginning of playoffs, so you kind of remember the upper bracket. That was a very exciting one. They were the team that actually pushed FlyQuest the furthest. So if you're going off the previous series, like this kind of is the expected rematch to try and set up, as Team Liquid are hungry for it.
And that was a series that set the LCS kill record, you know, for a series, and it beat it by 40, 50 kills because both teams were absolutely just brawling it out. It was such an exciting one, and TL looking for their rematch. Were devastated in that Game 5 loss and have been hungry to make their way back through the lower bracket to try to get a chance here for what would be their first title in a long time. TL have not won an LCS title since Doublelift left. And this new era of TL has been trying with so many different rosters to really make it happen.
And I think we've talked a lot about how Yeon has been performing so much in playoffs for TL. What a statement it would be for him, this young player coming up through the academy system, to be the one who can actually finally fill Doublelift's shoes and bring TL to another championship. They still have to get through the rest of C9 first, though. Nami wave is going to force TL back, but it doesn't connect on anybody. UmTi takes some poke on the way out, but the Elder Drake is spawning in 15 seconds. That's going to be the focus here for both teams.
Yeah, and I think C9 was hoping to get a fight there because they know they don't have a lot of vision out on the map. They have these couple pink wards, a little bit defensively. They have to get out there and try to challenge for this Elder. If they could steal the Elder away, if they can get a fight off that, that's maybe one of the ways to kind of race this gold lead, make it not matter, but it's going to be so tough. And again, TL just play the map. They just attack Fudge.
Fudge trying to go in after APA and Impact. He'll be kept alive by the Sterix Gauge, but now the rest of the fight! VULCAN's already down to the 3v3. Yeon is free firing onto Blaber. Cloud9 is collapsing as Blaber and JoJo barely get away with 100 HP. Never mind, it's a double kill back to Yeon with a piercing arrow as Berserker and Fudge trying to survive, but APA and Impact ain't gonna let him. Fudge will heal up off the wave as long as he can. The Elder is not required. JoJo and Berserker are barely alive. The Nexus turrets are under pressure, and for the second split in a row, Team Liquid will deny Cloud9 their opportunity for international competition. UmTi will chase JoJo away from the Nexus, and Team Liquid is going to finals and going to MSI.
Look at the immediate celebration. They were so frustrated after their last best of 5 versus FlyQuest. They felt like they really had that one and they could have taken the last game. Now you get another chance. Now you get the second try. And the guarantee that you're already going to MSI now that we send 2 teams to it. You remember back to last time Team Liquid went to MSI, they went all the way to the finals. We don't talk about what happened in the finals, but they made it to the finals. They dethroned the reigning world champ to get there.
And then I blacked out, and I don't know what happened after that.
Same.
But TL, incredible series from them. 3-0, absolute dominance. Outplayed Cloud9. It felt like really across the board, out-executed them. It didn't matter what the comps were. It didn't matter what the early game leads were. TL just knew how to play the map, knew how to execute in these 5v5s, and really showcased a very high level from them.
And I love the fact that you brought that up back at the beginning of the draft for this third game as well. It feels like so often you can look back at the draft and say, yeah, well, it's because they picked this or didn't pick that. But Team Liquid's movements in the game, the way that they played the individual team fights, the way they played the map as a team, they were just better than Cloud9 at everything today, and it earns them a spot in the finals tomorrow.
And on the other side, it's back to the drawing board for Cloud9. Massive expectations for this roster when it was put together. They have failed to meet them in this split, and they're going to have to prepare for summer, try to fix their issues going in towards the next split, see if they can really get it going again.
Right, this is a Cloud9 team that all of us and all of the other teams, when you look at the conversations coming into the split, it was, all right, who's going to get the silver medal? Because Cloud9's locking in the gold. This is the super team. This is the boys to beat, and they're going to end their spring split in 3rd place.
There's so much conversation around, oh, APA can only play Ziggs. Maybe more other mid laners should also be playing Ziggs, though. This looks so good to me, and Team Liquid use it so effectively.
Team Liquid Honda are not only going to the spring final tomorrow, but they've locked in the LCS's second and final spot at MSI. If you want to cheer on TL live in China, tickets for MSI go on sale on Monday night. But now with the series wrapped up 3-0, we're joining Emily and UmTi on stage for an interview.
Thank you very much. I'm here with the victorious Team Liquid jungler, UmTi, who has qualified for your first international tournament. So I did want to ask you, was that going through your mind at all when you entered this match today?
It can be a bad mind, but I just want to be the comfortable. So I was thinking, yeah, if I lose, I'll just go to Korea and just practice a lot more. So it can be comfortable. So thinking about positive side, and if I win, yeah, I'm going finals. Why not?
Well, congratulations once again. One thing that we really saw from you guys was a little bit of a somewhat return to form, I guess, from things that we saw in the regular season, specifically with you really pathing around topside to get impact ahead. Talk to me about your strategy going up against C9 and whether that was part of it or whether that was just what you wanted to do.
So yeah, the funny thing is like every time Impact says just don't come top at the screams a lot. So I was like playing to mid ball a lot, and when the stage days come and one level he says, "Can you come top it? Can you come top?" And level 2 timing, then I just watch it. You know, yeah, actually it's a good angle, but is that correct Impact with me practice? That kind of thing. So it's kind of fun. I think Impact is like just top gank lover.
So he doesn't do it in scrims, he did it on stage. And then the other thing is, especially in game 1, I really liked how you recognized that a lot of teams who've been successful against C9 have really attacked mid, and you were protecting APA's wave a lot. So talk to me about that strategy and whether you planned for that.
First one, I just think that JoJo played aggressive a lot at the coast, and I saw that Yeon is gonna just like fight back. So he's an aggressive player too. So I was watching like 3 games. They're fighting like a fighting to death. So there's not kind of C9 thing. I should go mid if it was not team. So Yeon is like fighting back with it to the death. So yeah, I should help Yeon because he's winning.
Well, one thing that has characterized TL, right, is that you guys fight a lot more now. You've set some kill records in your playoff run, actually. And now you're going to be taking on FlyQuest, one of the teams that you faced that you did set those records with. How have you prepared for them this time around?
Yeah, so I would say tomorrow is more bloody, guys. They're gonna fight back a lot, and we're gonna fight back a lot. So just think that's gonna be the fun match, guys.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining me, UmTi.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll toss it back to the lounge. All right. Thank you. All right, and now I'm joined by Blaber. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
Obviously, this is a really disappointing loss for you guys. I did want to ask what you think went wrong that you weren't able to bring to the stage today.
I think just in general, this whole split, we've really struggled like in the mid game, and I think it's shown in the regular season and the playoffs, and we just don't really make the best decisions, I would say, around what we're gonna do, and we also don't team fight like super well either. So we haven't been really able to transition our early game leads into other stuff, and I think that's really been what hurt. That's been what's been hurting us in our games.
What do you think the struggle is in terms of being able to practice that and like course correct it in the season? Because I think you guys yourselves are really upfront. We can all see like the massive potential to this team. So how is that something you can kind of practice as you prepare for summer?
I mean, I think we're gonna go to probably boot camp in Korea sometime between the splits, and it's just we just have to get on the same page. I feel like a lot of times we don't really have the same idea on what we want to do in the game, and because you have disagreements, you don't always make the best decisions, you know? So I think it's just we're just gonna have to work on getting on the same page and honestly just playing better.
Okay. And then is there anything you'd want to say to your fans, C9 fans, who have watched you all split?
Yeah, thanks guys for coming today. And I'm sorry we weren't able to win and make MSI, but we'll win next split.
Nice. Thank you so much for taking the time, Blaber. All the best for summer, and we will toss it back to the lounge to close out the day.
Thank you for that, Emily. We have Team Liquid.
Yep.
Sooner than many of us expected, I feel like, with the 3-0.
Really? Didn't you guess 3-0?
I did guess 3-0. So did you.
Yeah. Not for you guys, though.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I did say it would be 3-0 for either side, which is a coward's prediction, but it was like half right. How do you feel about the series, API?
I think my lane was kind of bad.
Okay.
Kind of all the games, but I think I played side lane pretty well, and I'm happy with how I played team fights. I'm not surprised it's a 3-0 though. I think we're personally much better, and like I'm excited for tomorrow.
What about MSI? Was that a part of the mind, or is it more about just the split?
Job's not done. I'm focused on winning the split first,
Yeah.
and then I'll look at MSI.
Impact, how did you feel the series went for you?
Kind of easy. Like, I mean, to me, it's like, just easy, clearly like easy win condition. Like for me, like that top situation wise, like before what happened the 10 minutes, like I knew that I can carry the game, or I can do something for teammates very well. And like mid late game, I was thinking they're grouping too much, like not try to play to side, or even I don't know how they play, kind of like just give to us free win, you know. So
Just was a free win. Zhao was saying that when C9 is behind more than 2,000 gold.
No, if they're behind at all,
Okay.
at 14 minutes, they hadn't won a game all year.
Really?
Literally
Yeah.
0 games when they're behind at minute 14.
And you were ahead in all 3 games. So, I mean, why even? But CoreJJ, I know we ran a graphic earlier that your manager was confused about, but I wanted to clarify. You have been on Team Liquid essentially longer than any other player has been on a team other than Blaber in the LCS.
I think so, yeah.
And also, the last time you won a title was in 2019. I know it's been a long road. Like, how important is it to be able to win tomorrow and get that title?
So, I mean, after we won the 2 split in 2019 against TSM and then G9.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. And then I was like, I want to prove more in the international than the domestic title or something. But, you know, it's been too long. I missed the winning LCS more than anything right now.
Yeah. What has been the key to you guys improving so much? Because it looked a little shaky. From the outside, it looked a little shaky at the start of the year, but you've been almost a completely different team from the looks of it in playoffs. What's changed?
I think we are doing really well playing as a team, like draft-wise or how we want to play the game-wise. I think like more opposite to how Cloud9 went. Whenever we play the game, like we can feel we are just like on the next level than Cloud9 in terms of like team play or as a team.
I heard that Jensen's already tweeted something that I'm sure APA you're going to see later anyway, so we're going to pull it up here. Do you have your phone with you? You're going to send a retort right away?
I will later. No phone right now.
Take my phone, it's fine.
To be honest, Jensen, you were lucky last time.
Lucky?
Yeah, he was lucky.
It was a 3-2 as well, really close series. How are you looking forward to the rematch against FlyQuest?
I'm just excited. I'm sure we'll go back and prep a lot, but
just don't throw. You know?
Yeah, just don't be a noob in side lane. That's where they're really good at. So that's my focus right now. Not die to inspired Vi in the side lane.
Speaking of, Blaber was mentioning in the post-game interview that their mid-game was bad this entire split. How do you guys feel about that?
I think they just overgrouped a lot.
It seems like you guys are pretty good in the mid-game today.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they overgrouped. Like they would show Jojo and Blaber both on mid lane.
Yeah.
And then like I would still be like hovering a side lane. So I'd just go back side, get 1, 2 free waves, sometimes even like a turret or 2.
Yeah.
And then just like, I think they just overgrouped way too much.
Yeah. Their map movement looks like NPCs. So I don't know, like, this tell me us like how good we are, because they played really weird in terms of map movement.
I think first game, the Kalista went push side. I think we didn't react right way. Properly? Yeah, properly. So there was only one time they had they're better than us.
Yeah.
But after, nothing.
We got a player of the series, as you guys may have seen off of our screen. But drum roll, it is Impact.
Wow, Jojo actually can make that. You know, last time he made the play for like MVP. Now it's me. This Jojo look come top.
He getting top makes you look like a god.
Yeah. Thanks, Jojo.
Who would you have, if you guys had to vote for player of the series, who would you have voted from your team?
I think UmTi.
UmTi.
UmTi was the biggest guy.
Because of the pentakill?
No, just like
just in
jungle
general.
situation-wise, like how he played it, map control-wise, it's really, I think, so much better than Blaber, how he played it, that pressure-wise. So
you're saying jungle gap?
Oh, yeah.
I think especially game 1 and 2 was very big jungle gap. I don't remember game 3.
You just played it. You just played game 3.
It did feel like the series was a little over after game 2, though. just watching game 3.
Game 3 was the closest game.
Was it though?
Yeah,
game 2 was the closest game.
Senna was even in goal at some point.
This is probably the moment, to your point, Impact.
We threw it at the bottom.
You threw at the bottom. Yeah.
How dead were you here?
Very dead.
I feel like if Blaber just walks forward, you're probably dead.
Yeah, but I think Olaf, when he gets stunned, he dead too. I did 1-1 trade. But anyway, even they kill me there, I'm not sure good play. Because
1-for-1.
Yeah, they lost like
even 1-4.
mid plates.
Yeah, mid
waves.
lose plate. I think Karma win condition like keep hold the prior to like control to side. But when he play like that, like he play like light, you know, he throw the life. So after when he back to lane, he not 100% sure can get prior, right? And we got win condition too, you know.
Do you feel like C9 failed to play around jojopyun in its playoffs?
No, not really. I feel like they played like a decent amount around him. I think, yeah, not really.
It just felt like
I think
most
he
teams
just
would
failed a
target
lot
ban
on his
him.
end, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Most
then I
teams-
don't think his champion pool was that big.
Yeah, we were commenting on the locked Nico Ari bans from
Yeah.
every team in the last 6 games in a row that Cloud9
I was
lost.
saying that if you get 3-0 by someone, next series will copy those bans no matter what.
Yeah.
Until you lose, at the very least, right? Do you guys feel like it's just too easy to ban those champs because no one else takes over? Or something?
Yeah, I think we just have a better ball lane as well. So like we're not really scared of any ball lane matchups, from my understanding. And then I think JoJo's really bad at mages, and they're just putting on mages the entire series. So I was very confident we were just going to win in general.
Yeah, you guys definitely played with a lot of confidence, and it showed. Let's pull up the bracket quickly here to see what brought us to this point. One matchup remaining, the FlyQuest versus TL rematch, which was seen way back on March 15th. So over 2 weeks ago, since you guys had that close best of 5 against FlyQuest. And I want to give you a chance really quickly, if you want to make any comments before tomorrow's series, to get mental advantage or just something that you want to say.
He gonna type Orchard anyway. Doesn't have to say now, I guess.
You're becoming a little more involved in all chat as well. The question mark in game
that's
3.
just sent to message to Jojo. What are you doing? You know, like to me, like, bro, you lose the win condition from that. So I'm just question mark. It's not for Fudge. It's for Jojo. Fudge just followed the core and he died. You know, it's completely like Jojo problem. You know, they don't know. So that's why I'm typing.
All right. Well, it's been entertaining to watch you guys. Congratulations on the 3-0 and best of luck in your match tomorrow. That's going to be it for us, though. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, for the start of the finals pre-show. Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. See you then.
I don't know, man. I can't say C9 after today. I just can't. I'm sorry.
With a counter strike to get him away. Blaber chases him over the wall. Beautifully done from UmTi to drag the C9 jungler away to the wrong spot. Impact makes his way into the back line at the same time, and now JoJo's in some trouble as Impact goes all out. He's looking to finish the kill, but the bailout might be able to keep JoJo alive. No, it will not. Team Liquid has found 2 kills, and C9 gets a whole lot of nothing.
Engaging. Yeah, I'm looking at Kalista. Yeah. Kalista. I'm dead. Nice fight. Kalista dead. Fine. Guys, it's 2v4. Our backman all died.
It's good. Watch me.
Come here. Okay, come here. Open Ready to flash. We should kill it.
아니야 그냥 써.
Yeah, you guys can end, right? Penta. Nice, you got Penta. UmTi.
Nice!
Great work.
5 players staring down 5 other players in the mid lane. Dredgeline goes off as the equalizer is just cooking Berserker. UmTi goes
This guy.
Guys, Senna
Flash, 1 HP.
Senna is going almost dead.
I'm looking forward.
From Renekton.
I'm hitting Renekton. Big win, guys. Big win, Renekton. Big win.
That can be big win.
No flash. Everybody no flash. Everybody no flash.
And pushing themselves to match point.
CoreJJ with the flash of the wall from the dredge line into the back line, and now Blaber's gonna get bursted before the fight even starts. Fudge the second target, and Team Liquid is taking no prisoner. They are all paper, and this man's looking like a pair of scissors. Blaber's still chasing him underneath the turret here. Impact stays alive with a nice call to me. There's no way, bro! It's first blood in a 1v3 for Impact!
흔들리지 말아요.
톡식하네 지금 생각해보니까.
You're hit!
Great work. 3 seconds.
Oh, nice!
Good job.
Nice impact!
Yeah. Next melee.
Lucian.
Lucian side. Lucian. Yeah, I'm looking Lucian side. I don't flash. Calm on the flash. I can karma. Down.
Can we enter? No.
Keep pushing.
Went after APA and Impact, so he kept alive by the Sterix gauge, but now the rest of the fight! VULCAN's already down to the 3v3! Yeon is free firing onto Blaber! Cloud9 is collapsing!
Guys, big win side.
I'm up. Go, guys!
Nice!
Yes!